Hello and welcome to another episode of Just My Opinion Man. In today's video, we're going to talk about last night's top of the table Premier League clash between Liverpool and Spurs. You can attribute so much context to this match. Of course, they played the Champions League final against each other a couple of seasons ago. They're obviously 1 and 2 in the Premier League before this match went in. A great tactical battle that can be looked forward to between Klopp and Mourinho, like two managers, top of the managerial food chain, stuff like that. All of that, and this match delivered. This match for me was so entertaining, so exciting. This match delivered, and we're going to do a tactical analysis of it. So discuss what we saw in the game and share our thoughts in this video. तो शुरू करते हैं starting lineup से. And from Liverpool's perspective, the starting lineup was the be-all and end-all because, as we know, they made no substitutions in the game. The same 11 that started the game finished it too. तो starting 11 काफ़ी की था. सबको पता ही है कि वैन डाइक इंजर्ड है, थियागो अल्कैंटरा अभी तक लिवरपूल प्लेयर लगता भी नहीं है because he hasn't played as much because he's been injured all this while. Diogo Jota is out now. So the starting lineup is fairly straightforward for them. Alisson's back in goal. The two fullbacks are back and fit. Reece Williams is the inclusion who takes Van Dijk's place because Matip is also, I guess, not fully fit for this game. Fabinho, who's been deputizing quite well at centre-back, again playing his role there. The captain, Jordan Henderson, with Wijnaldum, and youngster Curtis Jones in midfield. Curtis Jones, who, as we know, was the man of the match in this game, the star of this game, was very good. Like, Curtis Jones didn't really... obviously Liverpool missed Thiago. This game would have been much different had he played, but Curtis Jones, can't fault him for his performance. He was so good. Like, just have to give him a shout-out straight away. And obviously the front three with Firmino, Salah on the right and Mane on the left. Standard lineup from Liverpool. मैं ना अभी इसी पॉइंट पे डिस्क्लेमर दे देता हूँ इस वीडियो के बारे में that Liverpool, like, this video is just going to be mainly about like how insanely awesome Liverpool are. Quite easily the best team in the land, in England, Premier League, best team, one of the best teams in Europe, and this is without them having Van Dijk and Thiago Alcantara, even Jota. Kafi insane. We'll get to all of that later, but let's approach the Spurs lineup. The away side lined up in this way, and so Spurs, Lloris in goal, obviously. You have Aurier at right back, who's been doing quite well in the last few weeks, herding off competition from new signing Matt Doherty. You had Eric Dyer and Toby Alderweireld in centre defence, and Ben Davies at left back. I'll repeat that. What do you think you're going to get from this Spurs side when you see Ben Davies at left back over Sergio Reguilon, who has been playing all the games, all the important games for Spurs this season, and has been doing so well? But what do you think? Ben Davies है, तुम्हें मतलब पता है कि Mourinho इस गेम को कैसे अप्रोच करने वाला है when you see Ben Davies over Reguilon. Reguilon, if like you don't know the context, Reguilon is a more attacking fullback, a more adventurous fullback, gives you a lot of creative options in the attacking third, has a great final ball on him, good crosser of the ball, pacey, stuff like that. Ben Davies, on the other hand, is a more conventional defender, conservative, holds his position quite often. Very low-key fullback, gives you a solid, assured left back option in this game. Midfield, Moussa Sissoko, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, you had Lo Celso there, and a front three, जो कि front three नहीं थी, but anyway, Bergwijn, Son and Kane. So this team, when you see, it looks more like, on paper, it looks like a 4-3-3 with the three in midfield, Sissoko, Højbjerg and Lo Celso, and Bergwijn, Son, Kane. That's what you think, but that's not what it was at all. हाँ, देखने में 4-3-3 लगता है, ऐसा लगता है कि Bergwijn और Son wide खेलेंगे, Kane number 9 खेलेगा और ऐसा होगा. But in reality, the reality was quite different. Because as we know, Spurs had, in the whole of the game, had 26% of the possession. Spurs के पास ज़्यादातर बॉल थी ही नहीं. मेरे ख्याल से first half में तो शायद और भी कम थी. And what was happening was Son and Kane. So Spurs effectively played a 4-4-2 in this game because they spent large parts of it when Liverpool had possession. So they'll spend large parts of it defending deep in their own half, and they lined up in a 4-4-2. Spurs' game was quite simple. I mean, if you have to... Klopp versus Mourinho, when we talk about the tactical battle, sure, so many things that go into it. But अगर मैं brass tacks बोलूँ, तो फिर क्या है? लिवरपूल है पोजेशन फुटबॉल काउंटर प्रेसिंग के साथ, और स्पर्स है डिफेंड डीप और काउंटर अटैकिंग फुटबॉल. तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? पोजेशन एंड काउंटर प्रेसिंग वर्सेस डीप डिफेंडिंग एंड काउंटर अटैकिंग. इसका क्या मतलब होता है? तो लिवरपूल खेल रही थी पोजेशन फुटबॉल विद अ काउंटर प्रेस टैक्टिक. पोजेशन फुटबॉल यानी कि हमारे को, अगर हम लिवरपूल हैं, हमें फुटबॉल रखनी है, हमारी टीम को बॉल मैनिपुलेट करनी है, ज़्यादातर बॉल हमारे पास होनी चाहिए इन एन अटेम्प्ट टू ट्राई एंड स्कोर अ गोल। जब भी हम बॉल लूज़ करते हैं, बॉल लूज़ किसी भी वजह से हो सकता है, बॉल लूज़ अगर हम कोई गलती करते हैं या फिर स्पर्स हमसे छीन लेती हैं, हमारा इंटेंशन क्या है? हमारा इंटेंशन है तभी उन पे प्रेशर लगा के फटाफट बॉल को वापस विन करना। तो मतलब हमें बॉल चाहिए। तो लिवरपूल का जो क्लॉप का टैक्टिक तुम कह सकते हो इज अ बॉल हंग्री टैक्टिक, वी वांट द बॉल, एज अपोज्ड टू स्पर्स polar opposite tactic. So Spurs played a deep defense and counter attack tactic. What does that mean? इंसानों की भाषा में इसका क्या मतलब होता है? स्पर्स इसका मतलब है कि अपना डिफेंसिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मेंटेन करेगी। लिवरपूल के पास बॉल है मिडफील्ड में, उनके पास रहने दो, हम अपना शेप मेंटेन करेंगे, हम गोल को होने से रोकने की कोशिश करेंगे। दैट्स व्हाट इट मीन्स। एंड वील डिफेंड डीप, एंड व्हेन वी कैन विन द बॉल ऑफ ऑफ देम, वी वोंट ट्राई टू कीप पोजेशन ऑफ द फुटबॉल, लाइक वी वोंट ट्राई टू मेक स्ट्रिंग passes together. We'll try to hit them quick and hard because they are sharp, pacey players, like we said in Son and Kane. So whenever we win the ball in defense or in midfield, where most of the game is happening, हम quick passes खेलेंगे forward. And usually in Spurs' system, this happens with Harry Kane. That's the first person they look for. And Son they look for on the break. But the first person that all of the Spurs side looks for is Harry Kane. As we know, Harry Kane में आजकल थोड़ी सी ऐसे हुआन रोमन रिकेल्मी की आत्मा आ गई है, वो थोड़ा सा प्ले मेकर बना हुआ है ऐसे स्पर्स में. सो ही कम्स डीप, ही ट्राइज टू पिक द बॉल अप, एंड बिकॉज हिज पासिंग इज गुड ऑन द टर्न, ही ट्राइज टू look for the runners beyond him, which are provided to him by Bergwijn and Son. So this is the tactical battle, and this is mainly what happened in all of the first half at least. अब अगर मैं फर्स्ट हाफ को ऐसे एनालाइज करूं, लिवरपूल वर माइल्स अहेड ऑफ स्पर्स, बट लिवरपूल वर सो मच बेटर देन स्पर्स, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द हाफ स्कोर 1-1 ही था. ऐसा क्यों हुआ? लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट. सो व्हाट इज लिवरपूल ट्राइंग टू डू इन दिस गेम? Well, in my opinion, Liverpool's tactics are more brave than Spurs' tactics. या स्पर्स की टैक्टिक क्या है? हमें अपना डिफेंसिव शेप मेंटेन करना है, और जब भी बॉल आती है लंबा खेलना है और उस पर गोल स्कोर करना हमें ट्राई करना है. इस टैक्टिक को मैं थोड़ा सा इसे जय हरियाणा बुलाता हूँ, बिकॉज दैट इज़ लाइक हिट एंड मिस. मतलब श्योर नॉट एज ईजी. अगर इतना ईजी होता करने को तो सब यही करके प्रीमियर लीग जीत चुके होते, विच इज़ वाई Mourinho इज़ Mourinho, एंड आई एम जस्ट होस्टिंग जस्ट माई ओपिनियन मैन. ऐसी बात नहीं है, बट अगर कोई भी इस गेम को देखे तो स्पर्स एक बहुत ही सिंपल चीज़ ट्राई कर रही है. मतलब एनीवन कैन अंडरस्टैंड इफ दिस, एंड एनीवन कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट स्पर्स इज ट्राइंग टू डू इफ दे आर वाचिंग द मैच. बट व्हाट लिवरपूल इज ट्राइंग टू डू इज मच मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स, एंड फॉर मी ऑनेस्टली मच मोर ब्रेव. I mean, this is what Klopp has been trying to do at Liverpool for the past 4 or 5 years. Not only is he trying to win matches, he's trying to win matches in style. He's trying to impose his own style on the Liverpool side, and which is what like all Liverpool fans will argue and tell you that that's what they want. Like, I mean, sure, winning is great, but winning in that style, winning how Liverpool is winning, like that's so entertaining. बहुत सारे लोग ना ऐसे लिवरपूल के बारे में, बहुत सारे न्यूट्रल्स, like whenever I go onto Twitter, Reddit, places like these, sometimes people actually complain that Liverpool are a boring side to watch. I understand why they are saying this, because their idea of football is different. Their idea of creativity is एक traditional number 10 होता था, जो कि आजकल की modern game में धीरे धीरे हमें ऐसे evaporate होता हुआ दिख रहा है. But Liverpool doesn't employ traditionally creative attacking players. Sure, Firmino है, but Firmino is a false 9. He doesn't play as a 10. And their attacking creativity mainly comes from their fullbacks, and their threats on goal come from the inside forwards, Mane and Salah. बहुत सारे लोग लिवरपूल को ऐसे बोरिंग बोलते हैं, बट आई कैन नेवर रैप माई हेड अराउंड इट. एंड इफ आई हैव टू बी ऑनेस्ट विथ यू, द पीपल हु थिंक लिवरपूल आर अ बोरिंग साइड have probably never even played school football in their lives, because to appreciate what Liverpool do, I mean, if you're a lover of the game, if you like football, how can you watch Liverpool and think, nahi yaar, this is not my thing? It is my thing, because what Liverpool is trying to do is very complex. Let's just talk about this match right now. They're playing a Spurs side which is in a low block. सबको पता है deep defend कर रही है. तो लिवरपूल को इसको break down करने के लिए क्या करना है? Fast transitions, fast passes and quick ऐसे changes in direction. तो मतलब एक जब टीम लो डिफेंड कर रही होती है, there's an overload on one side. What Liverpool has to do when they have most of the ball is, like we said, 74%. They have to switch it quickly from one side to the other. Their main threats are their fullbacks, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. These are the people who put the crosses into the box. Well, in this match, Trent was nullified to a huge extent because of the job that Bergwijn was doing on him. He wasn't letting him get into crossing positions, and when he was getting into positions, he was closed down very quickly. This is what Sissoko was trying to do on the other side with Robertson, because as soon as Robertson got the ball, Sissoko got out to him very quickly. But quality is quality. And Trent is coming back from an injury, and I don't think he's at 100% match fitness yet, so he couldn't mark his impact on this game as much. But Robertson was on it. Robertson was on it because he got on the blind side of Sissoko many times. He got into areas where Aurier didn't know what to do, whether to go to Robertson or whether to stick with Mane. You had the midfielders Wijnaldum and Curtis Jones. So Henderson was almost like dropping so deep as a third centre back to come deep and create play. And Curtis Jones, तो तुम्हें तो पता ही है यार, ये बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स है. मैं इस वीडियो के स्पैन में सब कुछ समझा भी नहीं पाऊंगा. फर्मिनियो ऐसे डीप आता है तो वो ऐसे अट्रैक्ट अटेंशन करता है स्पर्स के डिफेंसिव मिडफील्डर्स का, यानी कि हॉयबर्ग. और फिर जब फर्मिनियो डीप आता है तो कर्टिस जोन्स आगे भागता है, वाइनाल्डम आगे भागता है. दे ट्राई टू क्रिएट एन ओवरलोड. दे बेसिकली ट्राई टू अटैक विथ 5. और फिर तुम्हारे एज ऑफ द बॉक्स पे हमेशा एक कर्टिस जोन्स या वाइनाल्डम रहता है. तो मतलब यार ये सब मैं अगर ऐसे समझाने जाऊँ पूरा वीडियो निकल जाएगा. Liverpool, what they try to do is very, very complex. And in the first half, what we saw was they manipulated the ball. They had the ball for almost the entire half. They got lots of half chances to score. Like the goal that they scored with Salah was, I think, a lucky wo, because वो obviously deflected shot, went in, ठीक है. मतलब, but the entire time they were creating such great plays. They had lots of shots on target. And I would like to at this point give a shout out to Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris is a goalkeeper that I have been very critical of in the past with my friends and stuff whenever we've been talking about him. कि Hugo Lloris को ऐसे टॉप कीपर मानते हैं, बट मेरे ख्याल से टॉप उतना है नहीं क्योंकि उतना कंसिस्टेंट नहीं है. कई बार ऐसे ब्लंडर्स ब्लूपर्स आते हैं. Hugo Lloris in this game was so assured and so excellent. His positioning in goal was such कि oftentimes ना हम goalkeeper के ऐसे smartness को neglect कर देते हैं when we see them making standard saves. Well, ये होता है because ज़्यादा ऐसे wow factor save होता है when a keeper is making like a full stretched dive or something, right? That is more exciting to watch. But keepers जब ऐसे सही position में खड़े होते हैं, when the ball is coming right to them, you know that they are anticipating things, right? His handling was quite good. The shots that came to him, some really fierce shots, some deflected shots too. Either parried them out of danger, or mostly he held on to them. Lloris very good in the first half. But in spite of all of this, फ़ायदा क्या हुआ? लिवरपूल ने एक गोल मारा, स्पर्स ने भी फटाफट एक गोल वापस रिप्लाई कर दिया. How did Spurs' goal come? Honestly, when I was watching the game live, even I couldn't tell how the goal came in real time, because this is what was happening when the game was going on. लिवरपूल ने कोई अटैक करा था, Lloris had just made a save, और ब्रॉडकास्टर ना ऐसे रीप्ले दिखा रहा था लिवरपूल के अटैक का, और जितनी देर में रीप्ले चल रहा था फटाफट ऐसे पीटर ड्रूरी ने बोला नाउ सॉन इज थ्रू ऑन गोल एंड ही स्कोर्स. मतलब ऐसे गोल आया. आउट ऑफ नथिंग कम्स दिस काउंटर अटैक और गोल. वेल या श्योर, अब नाउ दिस इज़ वेयर वी गो बैक टू सेइंग कि जो मोरिनियो अपनी टीम के साथ करवा रहा था बहुत सिंपल था. वेल बहुत सिंपल तो नहीं था. हाँ, काफ़ी एक्सटेंट तक टैक्टिक्स एक ग्लोरिफाइड बर्नली टैक्टिक्स ही थे. 4-4-2 defend deep counter attack. So this was like a more skillful version of Burnley, but that much more skillful. Players like Son and Kane, and Spurs obviously have the players. And Mourinho is a very smart guy too. Do neglect or ignore him at your own peril. Like count him out. Never count him out of the game. बहुत सारे लोग कहते रहते हैं ना ऐसे the game has passed Mourinho by. Well, he's still doing what he was doing 15 years ago. Whether he wins titles at the end of it or not दिखते हैं. बट स्पर्स का गोल कैसे आया? वेल, इट्स बाय डिज़ाइन कि सॉन ना ऐसे लेफ्ट पे खेलता है, बिकॉज जोजे मरीनियो नोज दिस, बिकॉज लिवरपूल हैव दिस इन देम बाय डिज़ाइन. सिंस देयर फुल बैक्स आर सो हाई अप इन अटैक, हाउ डिड स्पर्स गोल कम? लिवरपूल वॉज अटैकिंग, दोनों फुल बैक्स हाई थे, ट्रेंट अलेक्जेंडर आर्नल्ड काफ़ी हाई था, और उनके पीछे स्पेस है. तो ट्रेंट अलेक्जेंडर आर्नल्ड एक राइट बैक है, और जब ऐसे ऊपर पकड़ा जाता है और लिवरपूल के पास बॉल, अभी देव लॉस्ट इट, स्पर्स के पास अब बॉल है, तो ट्रेंट अलेक्जेंडर आर्नल्ड की जगह कौन है? कर्टिस जोन्स उसकी जगह अभी ऑक्यूपाई कर रहा है. ही इज़ फिलिंग इन फॉर हिज मेट एट राइट बैक, बट एज वी नो कर्टिस जोन्स इज नॉट अ राइट बैक. और इस सिचुएशन को कहते हैं डिफेंसिव ट्रांजिशन. लिवरपूल ने बॉल लूज करी, डिफेंसिव ट्रांजिशन में शेप कहीं ना कहीं लूज हुआ. Look at this move. Now there is that much space which is left behind by Trent. Son runs into it. So Lo Celso carries forward the ball and plays the ball through into space. And now quickly Son is in behind in goal. And Son अभी उसका जो form चल रहा है और इतना clinical है, out of nothing Spurs make it 1-1 और फिर half ऐसे ही पहुंच जाता है. And then half time पे, well, when Klopp goes into his dressing room, you realize that this is such a possibility, right? Like, we can dominate the game 100%. The other side is not even playing that well, yet we can still find the score to be 1-1. So now the second half starts, और second half में लिवरपूल की तरफ से ज़्यादा कुछ बोलने को नहीं है, because the things that they were doing in the first half, because obviously when you dominate the first half to such an extent, I think your tactic just has to be more of the same, because we will find the opening. And Liverpool just continue to do that. So they were so good in the first half. Second half was more of the same. Second half में Spurs were the side that needed to make adjustments. Well, did they make these adjustments? At halftime, no, I was talking to my friends and I was kind of disregarding Spurs' performance. To me, Spurs was like, I mean, not only because it wasn't entertaining, like that's not how I value and judge football, but because, yeah, Spurs, you can do more. तुम्हारे पास इतने talented और skillful players हैं, you can actually try and go out and win this game, Jose. After all, I mean, if Liverpool win this game, 66 home games unbeaten, they break Jose Mourinho's Chelsea record. ये चीज़ें कोई Jose Mourinho को याद दिलाओ ना यार, because his Spurs side is so capable. If they want and they put their foot down, they can go out and play and try to like outmaneuver Liverpool and win the game. Right now, it just feels like they're waiting for some mistakes to happen, which won't probably come because Liverpool are just an efficient machine. Spurs needed to make adjustments and Mourinho latched onto this. Like, this is why you have to credit his football intelligence. You can argue his tactics are either for you or not for you. You can like slate him as much as you want कि ये बंदा boring football खेलता है या कुछ भी. But Mourinho is one of the most intelligent men in football for a reason. He identified the changes that need to be made. Now Spurs, like sure, their defensive shape is good. They're defending well. Mourinho would expect more of the same to continue defending this well. But we have to offer more threat attackingly. What is the best way that we can do that? Now, we spoke earlier in this video about how Liverpool employ a counter press. They will not let you have the ball. Typically, football में क्या होता है कि teams try to play through their midfield to try to keep the ball and try to score a goal. कोई भी move build up करने के लिए teams midfield के through खेलती हैं. But Liverpool आपकी जान ले लेगी. Liverpool will not let you play through them. As soon as like उनका ना ऐसे सबके दिमाग में alarm bells बजने लगते हैं जब भी वो midfield में ball देखते हैं, because they run after it like a pack of mad dogs. Really no other way to say it. Like it's so full pedal to the metal चल रहा होता है. That's what Liverpool tries to do. And Spurs at this point, Mourinho has recognized midfield में मेरी कौन खेल रहे हैं? Sissoko, Højbjerg, Lo Celso फिर भी थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल है, बट सिसोको और हॉयबर्ग को तुम ऐसे बॉल दो, यू कांट एक्सपेक्ट देम टू बी ऑन द टर्न एंड फाइंड रनर्स बियॉन्ड देम. वो नहीं होने वाला है. सो व्हाट स्पर्स डिड वाज लॉन्ग बॉल्स फ्रॉम द सेंटर बैक्स अप फ्रंट. 10 मिनट हाफ टाइम के बाद मुरीनियो ने अपनी टीम को दिए. 10 मिनट चला, उसके बाद ही मेड अ सब्स्टिट्यूशन. लूकस मोरा केम ऑन फॉर लो सेल्सो. This is not a like for like change by any means, right? Lo Celso is a box to box midfielder और Lucas Moura एक runner और एक dribbler है. So clearly Mourinho has intentions to snatch this game away from Liverpool right under their nose. Now what their offensive tactic was, long balls in the channels from the centre backs and उस ऊपर फिर ओवरलोड करना. बर्गवाइन भागेगा, केन सॉन रहेंगे, लूकस मोरा भागेगा. 4 लोगों के साथ हमें लिवरपूल को हर्ट करना है. एंड Mourinho knows कि लॉन्ग बॉल्स तुम जब खेल रहे हो और अगर वैन डाइक हो सेंट्रल डिफेंस में, he'll head them away all night long. कोई सीन नहीं, no sweat. But here is where you have to exploit their weakness. Van Dijk is not there. Fabinho is a makeshift centre back and Reece Williams is making his Premier League debut for Liverpool. So he knows that these are the guys whom you need to exploit. So that is what was happening. Spurs had the better chances in the second half. Like if Spurs took the chances they had, the quality of chances they had, they were better than any of Liverpool's chances throughout the game. They hit the post with one of Bergwijn's 1v1s against the keeper. Harry Kane missed a header from like point blank range. A miss that you never associate with Harry Kane. And if we say that like Spurs were just, out there to grab a lucky win, well, that would not be the case. I mean, I completely get what Spurs was trying to do. They were trying to maximize their own threats. And you can say that they did that. The quality of their chances proves that. And Mourinho's football, Mourinho's brand of winning football is all about, like, I know for a fact that he views the game in the sense that we had these chances, we should have scored them, and we should have gone ahead, and we should have continued to defend and not let Liverpool score again on us. That's what Mourinho's game plan was. बट ऑब्वियसली यार फुटबॉल हमेशा ऐसे तो नहीं चलती ना कि मेरा मन है ऐसा होना चाहिए और ऐसा होगा और ऐसा हो जाता है. ऐसा होता तो सब चैम्पियंस होते, बट ऐसा नहीं होता है पूरा टाइम. अब थोड़ा लिवरपूल के बारे में बात करते हैं. वी हैव ब्रोकन डाउन व्हाट स्पर्स वाज ट्राइंग टू डू, व्हिच दे फेल्ड टू डू इन दिस गेम. दे कुड नॉट स्कोर देयर चांसेस एंड लिवरपूल केम बैक एंड वन दिस गेम. Let's now dedicate the rest of this video to what Liverpool are all about. Liverpool are just like on a different level of physicality as compared to everyone else. Throughout the game, when you keep watching, I think Liverpool are very focused on winning duels. उनके जो wide men हैं, their main men, Salah and Mane, Firmino who drops deep and tries to come and occupy Højbjerg, ये सारे attackers, and even Wijnaldum and Curtis Jones against Lo Celso and whoever is the man closest to them. Liverpool's attacking output is characterized by every player is so like physically sharp. Like you can tell that Klopp has had over 4-5 years with this team, and he's created, like he's marked these players. He's created an imprint on them. Because this was similar to his Dortmund side. His Dortmund side was so physical, like they were physically superior to their opponents. अगर मैं लेमन लैंग्वेज में समझाऊँ, लिवरपूल का ना एक वो थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रोफेशनल फुटबॉल में 19-20 का ही फ़र्क होता है. बट इफ़ आई वर टू एक्सप्लेन टू यू व्हाट दैट डिफरेंस मेक्स इज, हाउ मच ऑफ अ डिफरेंस दैट मेक्स इज, जस्ट इमेजिन इफ़ वी आर इन अ स्कूल प्ले ग्राउंड राइट नाउ, और मैं क्लास 12th के बच्चों को अगर खिलाऊँ जिनकी फिजिकलिटी सुपीरियर होती है क्लास 9th के बच्चों के अगेंस्ट, who will be more dominating? Who do you think will win more duels? 1v1s, शार्प ऐसे सेकंड बॉल्स को कैप्चर करना, ड्रिबल्स में आउट मसल करना, आउट मनूवर करना, ये सारी चीज़ें, अपने मैन के बियॉन्ड रन करना, रिकवरी रन में अपने मैन को पकड़ना. लिवरपूल in all these aspects was just that much sharper than Spurs. And Spurs are a top Premier League side. So just imagine how good Liverpool have to be that good. This intelligence of these players. I mean, you think Thiago Alcantara injured है, उनका एक academy product in Curtis Jones आता है, and he steps up at the highest level, आके सीधा man of the match. I mean, these are the stories in football, man. Like these are the things, not stats and not like ऐसे मतलब बहुत सारे stats आप अगर ऐसे डालने लग जाओ ना कि इतने passes completed, इतना ये इतना वो, like I said in the last video too, मेरे लिए वो चीज़ नहीं बनी है. मेरे लिए ये स्टोरीज़ हैं कि एक बच्चा, कर्टिस जोन्स कितना 20-21 साल का है, एक बच्चा आता है मिड वीक गेम इन द प्रीमियर लीग अगेंस्ट द टॉप साइड, ये परफॉर्मेंस डिलीवर करता है. ही वॉज वेरी गुड. साडियो माने की तो जितनी तारीफ़ करो कम है. साडियो माने इज़ एक्सेलेंट. Like he was dueling Serge Aurier for most parts of this match. And sure, like I said, stats अगर तुम देखो तो Serge Aurier had 10 tackles and Mane had 1 successful dribble past him. But if you were watching this game, you just knew that Mane had the best of Serge Aurier for almost the entire night. He was getting the better of him और काफ़ी easy. मतलब no sweat for him. उसके लिए physical duel उसको दो, get tight to him, he will turn you like this. Sadio Mane can turn you like this. If you get like he comes deep, अगर जब ऐसे रॉबर्टसन आगे विड्थ देता है और माने ऐसे सेंटर बैक्स और हेंडरसन से बॉल भी कलेक्ट करने आता है, वाइनल्डम से बॉल कलेक्ट करने आता है, he goes in field, he goes out. Sadio Mane is the complete package in world football right now. And all, I mean, I know सारा attention attract करता है Mo Salah because he's the more prolific goal scorer, but Sadio Mane, he just augments better with Liverpool's entire side. And I'm not saying, I don't have to put like Salah down to say Mane is better. Mane is just that good. Even the goal that Liverpool scored, the winner that they scored, the Firmino header, the corner was won by Sadio Mane by winning another duel against Serge Aurier. He also had this chance where, यार मतलब आया जहाँ पे ऐसे देख के लग रहा था, अगर if like I post a still of when Sadio Mane turned his man, ऐसा देख के लग रहा है there's not even any space that exists over there. Mane turned on it and like hit a cracker of a shot, but it was unfortunate and hit the crossbar because Lloris was beaten. Mane should have had his deserving goal, I think. He's been on a drought for like 9 Premier League games now in which he hasn't scored. but I think that will turn because he's doing all the right things. And Liverpool just won eventually. And this is what the difference is between Liverpool and the rest of the field. हम बात करते हैं ना कि लिवरपूल हैड अनलकी इंजरीज टू वैन डाइक, थियागो एंड इम्पॉर्टेंट प्लेयर्स. And so in this season, if Chelsea, Spurs, United, City, if they play well, they can win the title. That is the difference between Liverpool and the rest of the field. Because what you need from other guys are to be constantly playing at their best. And we all know that's impossible over a 38 game season. Man City का लग रहा है कि इस season उनका scene ही नहीं है. Chelsea are so inconsistent. They win a few good games, but they haven't beaten any top opposition this season. Spurs, पता नहीं, because they obviously lost to Liverpool in this game, but they also drew against Palace away. फिर वो flashback याद भी आता है वेस्ट हैम के against वो blunderous 3-all draw. ये सारी टीम्स ना, if they're playing well, if they can go on a run, 10-15 गेम अगर जीतते हैं तो शायद सबसे क्रेडेंशियल हाईएस्ट मेरे ख्याल से सिटी का ही है, बिकॉज वी नो दैट सिटी हैव डन इट इन द पास्ट. वेदर दे आर एबल टू डू इट अगेन और नॉट, दैट्स अप फॉर डिबेट, बट सिटी हैव डन इट इन द पास्ट. बट लिवरपूल बाकियों से डिफरेंट कैसे है? लिवरपूल इज जस्ट अ फुल पावर अभी मशीनरी है. लिवरपूल जस्ट नोज हाउ टू विन. बाकी सब ना ऐसे फिगर आउट कर रहे हैं कि हम अपना बेस्ट खेल के कैसे जीते. Liverpool just knows how to win. Even when they're not playing well, even when things are going against them, there was a time spell in this game where it looked like Spurs are the more dangerous counter-attacking outfit. They can nick this game away. Liverpool ना ऐसे adversity face कर करके ऊपर आती रहती है यार. We've been seeing it for 3 seasons now. Liverpool before Klopp's mentality monsters like took over, Liverpool ऐसे हमेशा लगता था कि यही situations bottle करती है. That is what has changed for them. And I think this machinery has 3 vital cogs which make Liverpool such a big monster. First is their home fans. Anfield ke home fans. You know, Anfield always has had such a scary, insane atmosphere for teams that go there and play Liverpool. The Kop is just so loud and vociferous that ऐसे डर लगता है. So when Liverpool all through the latter half of the 2000s and the मतलब 2010s में भी जब ऐसे लिवरपूल वर अ subpar mid table side, तब मेरे को ये थॉट पहली बार आया था कि द डे दे एक्चुअली हैव कॉम्पिटेंट फुटबॉल प्लेयर्स, ये साइड तो ऐसे पागल कर देगी क्योंकि इनके फैंस जेन्युइन 12th मैन है. द एटमॉस्फेयर दैट दे क्रिएट, it's impossible that it does not propel you to a higher level of performance. And the fans, what they bring to the game was evident by how Firmino celebrated his winner. He ran straight to the Kop. और सिर्फ 2000 fans अगर ऐसा शोर कर सकते हैं. Like I was watching the game, and when you're watching broadcast quality football, the stands aren't quite visible, right? Only their noise is audible. And we all know कि मतलब ऐसे कोविड सीन में only 2000 fans are allowed. दुनिया में आजकल कुछ भी चल रहा है. इंडिया में जैसे इफ़ लाइक पीपल डोंट नो दिस, इंडिया में जैसे व्हेन एवर यू मेक अ फ़ोन कॉल आपको पहले अमिताभ बच्चन से बात करनी पड़ती है, कोविड गाइडलाइंस वगैरह हैं. वेल सिमिलरली यूके में है कि फ़ुटबॉल स्टेडियम में 2000 फैंस ही आ सकते हैं, वो भी सिर्फ कुछ स्टेडियम्स में ही. लिवरपूल इज़ लकी इनफ टू बी वन ऑफ दोज, एंड जस्ट 2000 पीपल इन द कॉप makes such a grand difference because it's a very, very beneficial thing for them to have. Second vital part of this machinery is Jurgen Klopp, mentality monster. Liverpool को जब तुम देखते हो, you see an extension of Klopp's own personality. Perseverance, bold, fearless football. They are all parts of what Klopp's cult of personality stands for. And मैं personality और इन intangibles के बारे में तो I can go on about them. But the question I will pose about Jurgen Klopp's credential is just this. Imagine you're a fan of any top 5, top 6 Premier League club in the world right now. Top 6 Premier League club right now. I will even include Everton for good measure. Take even Everton and take any other side. Chelsea, Arsenal, United, कोई भी तुम पकड़ लो, City छोड़ के, because Guardiola है. And just ask yourself, if Jurgen Klopp joins there as manager, this season, right now, today, if he joins them today, will he be able to make them title contenders within 2 to 3 seasons or not? And I think if you're honest with yourself, the answer has to be yes. Because Jurgen Klopp, like, just what he did, यार डॉर्टमंड तो सबको याद है. उसके पहले उसने जो माइंस में करा है, जो माइंस जैसे एक मतलब लैटर हाफ ऐसे कहाँ पे 13th 14th आती थी टीम, जिनको ऐसे यूरोप तक लेके गया Jurgen Klopp. I mean, This is what he does. Mentality monsters जो कहते हैं ना 89th minute में आके Firmino header मार रहा है. I think these things, these traits are an extension of Klopp's personality. And the third, obviously the key vital cog of course, is this Liverpool squad. This squad full of world-class players wherever you look. I mean, Alisson in goal, assured presence, क्या distribution है. मतलब कुछ इस मैच में तो he didn't have to play any long passes because Spurs was so deep. He could just play at his own leisure, at his own pace. But just his presence, so assuring. The fullbacks are pure quality. Trent तो अच्छा है ही. Robertson मेरा favorite player है. As a neutral in the Premier League, as a neutral fan in the Premier League, Robertson is my favorite player for so many reasons that I can't quite go into right now. But he's just such a joy to watch. Henderson, who has like grown in levels. यार Henderson मुझे वो player अभी भी याद आता है जो Sunderland से आया था. ऐसे मतलब Henderson था. He wasn't world class, anywhere close to being world class. He was pure bang average. Henderson now. Henderson भाई ऐसे मतलब English Perlo बना हुआ है, कुछ भी चल रहा है. Curtis Jones, Wijnaldum, ये सारे players यार, मैं सबके traits के बारे में क्या ही बात करूँ. But all these players, Firmino, Salah, Mane, just outstanding players. And the scariest part is that they're missing their best player, best centre back in the world, Virgil van Dijk right now. Thiago Alcantara is yet to come into this side. So if they're this good when they're compromised with injuries, मतलब यार लिवरपूल से अभी बहस करना, लिवरपूल से compete करना बाकी teams के लिए बहुत बहुत मुश्किल है. And that brings a wrap to this video. I know we went quite काफ़ी emotional हो गया मैं in the course of this video. It stretched a bit longer than I originally intended it to be. But football is just like that, man. When you talk about things that you're passionate about, you just go on a different flow और तुम फिर निकल जाते हो and there's no reining you in. But I appreciate it if you stuck and watched this video till the end of it. And if you did, share this please and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, and watch out for more. Thank you.